I'm here in St Ives and I'm on my own. Normally Nick, my husband and cameraman, is with me, but he's busy painting at home at the moment, the house. So I thought that I would do a painting today of this boat, and then also the lighthouse behind, which I'm just going to show you now. Please excuse my camera work. Oh, there we go. So that's my view. So I'm just going to start now. Hopefully the sun is going to be fairly constant because it's quite overcast, but it's quite bright. I'm using a board that I drew out on before but didn't like it, so I've turned it upside down so it won't distract me too much. I like this big boat in the foreground, so if I can get him right, then the rest of the painting hopefully should be alright. So I'm going to start with that first, get the drawing in, although I've just realised I really like those orange things on the side which you can't actually see. Let me just turn that for you. Those. Let's make it a little bit smaller. A nice lean to it because of the tide being out. So the tide is nearly fully out soon, so it means I've got quite a nice amount of time before the tide comes back in. So I'm hoping that's going to be okay in a composition. I'm going to move some boats around a little bit just to make it work a bit more, but get this one right first. I always look for uprights in a painting because they really help the composition, especially on a landscape. You know, I class this as a landscape as well. It's got a nice amount of shadow underneath. And a lovely rope as well, which I shouldn't really put in now, but it's just so yummy. It's a shame the light's gone a little bit. It was really sparkly this morning. So other things I look for in a composition is stoppers on the sides. So that's a kind of a stopper, but also this wall on the side here. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you got a bit of view of wall. So that helps too. Just trying to get the drawing right. It's quite tall. So if that's there, gosh, it's way wrong. The brush I'm using is a short flat, one of those, what they call, sterling I think it is. It's a Pro Art. They're quite useful because they're quite blunt, so you can't get too much of a point, so it means it's not too fussy with the drawing. I want that lighthouse in, iconic St Ives lighthouse. It's still not right. Do a little boat in the distance because it gives a sense of size, scale. I'm not going to put all the boats in because it would be too cluttered. I don't know this subject very well. It's only the second time I've painted this area. So I'm just blocking in the shapes, looking for the light and darks. So there's not much difference in there, but a little bit. It's a reflected light that side, because the light sun is actually coming from there. So this is in shadow, a little bit there. So I'm going to just expand out now from this boat. So on the first kind of go, first layer, I want to make sure that it's the right tone if I can, because that helps me then with other elements. You get one thing right, then you can work the tone off the next thing. Just using a little bit of cerulean and lemon yellow. Start with base colours that I've mixed, and then kind of nuances from those, which helps to keep colour harmony. I also look to see if there's any other boats that have similar colours, so I'm going to put a blue in there. Bottom there. So it's a nice red. Let's get that red in there. So my main kind of primary red is a Scarlet Lake. I think it's a what's it called? Oh, can't remember the name, the make. It'll come to me. Possibly a bit bright. So I've just dulled that down a little bit with a ultramarine and burnt sienna mix. It's a quick way of doing it. Winsor & Newton, that's the name. Make sure I get the shapes right. So now there's a dark bit on the end, so I'm going to get that because that will help with the tonal stuff. Ah, nice. Okay, so I'm now going to look to see if there's any other reds that I can use as paint with. And there's a red in there, kind of a little bit dark. It's actually quite a lot of red. I'm going to vary it a bit.
Can we take a photograph?
That's okay, no problem.
How's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just started.
Lovely to be out, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Can I take a close-up shot?
Sure.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
No problem. So I'm now looking at the light on top of the boat. I want to make sure I get that in. Up down here. So that's just the starting point. I will lighten it a bit more in a minute. So I'm going to get these kind of structure-y things in there too. I'm going to cheat a little bit and bring it in. The buoys are really kind of a luminous colour. To get the it bright enough but light enough as well. It's not too bad. Make sure it's enough intensity of colour in there. I don't want that line round it. Just checking to see if there's any others I can put in as well at the same time. So that went too white then. Couldn't see the colour enough. Okay, it's coming. It's a lovely boat, this. Nice shape. So I always put the structures in like this before I put the background in, because then I can work around it. Otherwise it's a lot harder to get it in afterwards, because you're going over the top of the stuff and it doesn't work so well. I'm doing it above the horizon, the hill line, because it helps with composition. So it's coming. You can never tell whether it's going to work out or not. So it's when it starts to kind of appear, it's always kind of a relief. Get these other boats in, I think. I'm using a classic short flat Rosemary & Co. Ultimate brush. They're, I think this is a size 6. Quite nice to draw with. I like to change brushes for different colours, so it keeps the colours fairly clean. I'm going to use my reddish brush for that over there, that boat. So I do a test usually, like I just did, to check the colour and the tone, and then I change it, you know, if I don't like it or it doesn't work. I'm just working up to be able to put the sand in, but I'm making sure I've got all the bits in that I want first. So there is a piece of water that goes across here, but it's actually not that nice for the composition. So there is a little sweep further down the beach that I'm using, which I hope will work. I hope that you can hear all those seagulls. It feels very seasidey. When I look at an area like this that I'm going to be putting in, I look for where the lightest tone and the darkest tones are. So the darkest is in the bottom. I'm using a Naples yellow. This one's Naples yellow and that one's Naples yellow light. They're quite useful for beach colours. I put a blue with it that I've mixed, and a little bit of red too, because I don't want it too bright. Not at this stage, I can always brighten it. So around this area is really dark. Just breaking out the areas a little bit with some lighter sand colour, and thicker too.
Looking good.
Thank you.
How long will that take you to do then?
Probably maybe another hour.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And will you finish it here or will you finish it off at home? Or?
Probably it will be 90% done.
Right. You take photographs and
Tweak
excellent.
it. Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you. Not sure whether to put that in or not, because there is beach there and a tiny slither of sea there. I may have just over-egged that a little. Not looking right yet. No, I don't like it. It's got to be what it is. I just wanted to see in it. Alright, I need to get those rocks in. I hope you can hear me because it's quite windy now. I'm just doing that because I think that guy's just going to move that and I like it. Not sure what he's doing. I don't know if you can see them. Got distracted. Just varying the rocks in the distance, making them greener or slightly lighter. Not making them too heavy though, because they can be a little bit too dominant. So these houses just like a mass, and I'm going to just block them in. I haven't been out doing much plein air painting recently, and I did one this morning, and I can feel my stamina is less than what it was. Feeling quite tired already, which is annoying because I'm enjoying it. Keep going. I go back down to here because it's a similar colour to that, so I'm using some yellow ochre and that scarlet red. And then I think maybe some cerulean just to cool it down and darken it. Oof. He's quite lively. Started some more of that ultramarine mix. So that bit there is too edgy, so it needs to be softened. If that's too red or not. It's going to reflect red. No, don't like that. Nice thing with oils is that if you don't like it, you can either scrape it off, wipe it off, or paint over it. So I don't like that bit, so I'm going to paint over it. I get rid of the white of the board. Also like that white there, I need to sort that out as well. Yes.
Do you mind if I take a picture of you painting a picture?
Not at all.
Is that all right?
You go ahead, yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. problem. Are you on Instagram?
I am.
Yes, but
Doesn't use Instagram very much as me.
I'm not good at Instagram,
Ah.
but
okay, cool.
Facebook, and if you just put TVK photography, I'll pop up
In
all over the
Instagram,
place.
you will be there.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever else
Ooh,
there
thank
is.
you.
No problem. Thank you. Send me a photo if you get a good one of me doing it.
Yeah.
I can use it on social media.
I like the thing you're painting and your picture whilst you do it. It's kind of the whole.
Oh, caboodle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. You're on Instagram, are you?
I am, yeah. I'm
Cool.
Andrea the Weaving Potter.
Oh, nice. What a cool name. I like it.
That's just someone who couldn't make up
I
their
couldn't.
mind
I
what they
can't
wanted
make
to
up
do.
my mind. I did used to do a lot of pottery, but then I hurt my back, so then
Oh.
I changed to weaving. So I can't let go of pottery.
Huh.
Just spent a fortune on some nice down. I didn't really spend a fortune.
Just let the cat out of the bag
Just let
there,
the cat
Andrea.
out the bag,
Yeah.
and
Saying no, or not really, isn't it?
pottery still, yeah.
Well, have a lovely holiday.
Thank you. So do you live in St Ives?
I live in Newlyn.
Oh, do you?
Mm,
Oh,
nice spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having this so close as well.
brilliant. My friend and I were thinking of doing an art course.
Oh yeah, Newlyn School of
Yeah.
Art. It's got good reputation.
Has it?
Mm.
Are you going to start drawing? Oh, no room in the house, is it? Take up another hobby.
He's probably not gonna. I mean, look, this lady hasn't taken up.
Yeah, but you haven't seen what
space.
she's got at home.
I'm not saying a word.
The rest of my cake.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Okay, let's get the energy going and try and fill in some areas. Just putting a little bit of water under there because it just adds to it. Just making that a little bit smaller because it's a bit too dominant. I'll get that lighthouse in now. I'll just lift up the camera so you can see it again. So I'm going to do the lighthouse. There it is. In there. So I need to get the background in really to show that lighthouse. I prefer to have cleaner brushes because I did a paint earlier. They're all a bit mucky. So I'm using ultramarine, permanent rose and cadmium yellow. So it's the three primaries mixed together. But it's kind of making it a purpley, bluey, browny. Just going to check that for it's quite nice for the rocks as well. Darker bits for the rocks. Not too dark though. Right, and that would be quite good up there possibly. Alright, so now I'm going to lighten it because it's too dark. Just still too dark. I want the dark around the lighthouse so it shows up. I think it's still too dark though. I'm making it a little bit darker as I go down, not too dark, and adding a bit of greeny colour. You're fine, thank you. So making sure that the tones read. And they're lighter than those and this. I decided to do a kind of a sweep, and then I can work back into it with the houses and stuff, but it keeps it simple then. So the wind has come a bit stronger, hoping that the easel, the tripods will not fall over. I'm going to try and get this sky in quite quickly. So it's quite overcast at the moment, but bright. So I've mixed some of the sand colour in with the sky. I can always work on it when I get home. I just want to get the main information in. I'm breaking up this skyline here because it's too strong. The line is too strong, and also adds interest. There's a nice light that sticks up above the tree line. There's a shadow underneath the line of this boat that I'm going to get, which will help define it. Dark enough. I'm going to finish there. There's still a little bit to do, but pleased with how that went. Enjoyed this painting. Hope to do some more in this harbour. And if you like this video, do subscribe, and helps me to do more of these. So thank you for your support, and see you next time. Happy painting!